Yarekwa. We would like to apologize once again for starting behind schedule. But I want to believe that after introducing the guest that we'll have this evening, who is going to definitely tender his apologies because he's the reason why we are starting a bit behind schedule. Prince Barry Ogiugo, Esquire, read law at the University of Benin. He's a businessman and an admirer of Gordon Obaseki and his leadership style. Born on the 11th of March, 1978. He is the Chief Executive Officer of Enomase Logistics Ventures and State Technical Facilitator to the World Health Organization, WHO. His setup used for the actualization of credibility in politics 11 years ago after noticing a decline in the quality of leadership in Nigerian politics. Convinced by the governor's forthrightness and attainments in the last 3 years, as well as the battles waged against his decision to stand by Edo people, Prince Ogiugo set up the Barry Ogiugo Coalition for Obaseki and Shuabi to advocate for the governor's re-election. Prince Ogiugo, good evening and welcome to the program.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You'd like to tender an apology?
I want to specially apologize for coming a little bit behind schedule. I had to squeeze in this appointment today.
And not to mention the traffic on that Ugbowo houses of Benin.
A lot of traffic.
Because it's a Friday.
Yes,
okay.
yes, a lot of traffic.
Well, we thank God that you were able to make it. Thank you so very much for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Now, how would you rate the performance of the governor in the last 3 years and 9 months as someone that is looking from the outside?
Well, when people ask me questions like that, I start by telling them, where do I start from? Because it's Enomase, okay? It's, we look at, we grew up here from the Midwest time to Edo State, creation of Edo State, and then till this very date. We have seen successive governments come in and go. But you see, we aspire to see the government that will do the things that our former governor of Midwest, Ms. Gentle rest in peace, General Osagie, the things he did then. Because over the years, we begin to see decline in governance. We see the public tap are gone. We see public utility gone. We see people sinking private boreholes in place of public taps. We see we don't have light anymore. And then we see public schools declining in quality with the emergence of private schools. And we didn't like the idea that when our churches build schools, our people cannot afford the school fees. We didn't like the idea that when our churches build hospitals, our people cannot pay the bills in the hospital. And so we're looking forward to a government that will be people-oriented. And that's why I tell people that this election coming up is issue-based. We have a sellable candidate. The governor of Edo State, Gordon Obaseki, is a sellable candidate. He himself is an epitome of development. Have you been to Gelegele Port? You will be wowed. You will marvel at what's going on there. Have you been to the Secretariat? I grew up here. I knew how the decadence that took place there. It has been abandoned over the years. And if you go there, my driver brought me into Benin some time ago. And I told him to go into GRA to look for a good hotel for me. And I was reading my news tablet.
You're not based in Benin?
No, I go in and come out. My nature of my business take me in and out. And so when we drove because I was reading my newspaper, I actually didn't know that we were already inside Secretariat building. And he said, he came down, opened the door and said, sir, he said, I should take you to a hotel. We're in the hotel. I looked up and I said, okay, wow, fine. This hotel was newly built. I said, this must be a 5-star hotel. And then someone heard me talk, and he came towards us and was like, sir, this is not a hotel. you are in the secretariat. I'm like, wow, is this the secretariat? He was like, yes, now. I said,
When was this?
That's about a month ago. And I was like, wow, you mean this is the secretariat? And he said, yes, look at the other one, it's under renovation too. That was when I was convinced that it was the secretariat. I was like, wow, this man needs the support of Edo people. This man needs the support of those that that know what is good. I have children. Each time I think of Edo State, I think of our people that are in the diaspora. And I say to myself, one day, what if one day they are asked to go back home? Which home are they going to come back to? And I said, I must contribute my quota. And I said, I must support the governor, Governor Obaseki, his drive, his developmental stride, his mindset to develop Edo State. I can tell you categorically clear that in the whole of the Federation, Edo State is the only state that is having a modular refinery. Can you beat that? In the whole of the Federation, Edo State is the only state that has not borrowed money as at the very just now.
Thank you.
So that was what prompted me to set up the Ogiugo coalition for Obaseki Shuabi. Okay. And we have coordinators around the world in the states.
We'll be coming to that now. Yeah. What key leadership qualities have endeared you to the governor and his politics?
Doggedness, uprightness, straightforwardness. When I look at him, each time I look at him when I'm sitting in my living room, I tell my wife, I will say, I wish I have the opportunity of working directly in government with this man, without pay, with this man, so I can contribute my own quota directly with him. I say, because I see he has the mind to create wonders in Edo State.
So if you were to be offered a job right now, which area would you be looking at?
I will look at the aspect of, planning, the aspect of implementation, where I can be practically involved. Because, you see, if I tell you that this our governor is like a reincarnate of Ogbemudia. During the time of Ogbemudia, my dad told me that.
Yeah, because I looked at your age.
Yeah, my dad told me that, okay. Especially my grandpa. Okay. He was a forest guard, and he worked closely with the Ogbemudia then. Yeah. He was practically involved in the government. He said, when Ogbemudia gives you a project to implement, he said, every step of the way, you are called to explain how every kobo is spent. He said he will pay you, but every step of the way of that project, he will expect you to explain to him how you are implementing it. And when there's a mistake, he will correct it. He will not want to wait for you to finish implementation before he will now come and say, oh, you would have done XYZ in an ABC way. He said, no. He said, every step of the way of the project, he is practically involved. And when I see the governor implement projects, I am marveled at the way he does it. He is a technocrat, and we appreciate him for that. So we want to see more of him. We want to see more of what he's doing, because what he's doing now is a long-term plan that our children's children and generations unborn are coming to enjoy. It's not just only for us alone. Our children's children, the generations unborn, will come tomorrow and remember his name that will be written in the sand of time.
Okay. So what iconic projects across the spectrum convinced you as to the capacity of the governor to deliver on his mandate?
When you say what iconic projects, I smiled and laughed because
you chuckled.
I chuckled because they are so enormous. Are you talking of the Oshomo plant? Is it the Oshomo plant? Is it the Gelegele project, Gelegele Seaport project? Is it the Secretariat? Is it the... Have you been to Ekenwa Road?
Yes.
That road is top of the art, first class, world class road. In fact, come on, you see, I am the kind of person that when I see someone doing what I cannot do, or what I would have done when I was in that, if I were to be in that person's shoe, I give them kudos. I give them kudos. This is a man that worked with government for 8 years, as affirmed and confirmed by our former governor, Shomole, without pay. That's to tell you the service, the kind of spirit of service he has for the people of Edo State. How many people will work for government for good 8 years without receiving salary? He did it. He didn't just do it. It was also confirmed by the former governor that this man did this job, not only doing it alone, he was part of the hands, he was part of those that made his government a success. He said, everything I achieved, I quote, everything I achieved during my tenure was as a result of Godwin's efforts, unquote. Godwin Obaseki effort. So, such a person now come on board as a governor, and he's doing miraculously well, marvelously well. In all facets of governance, he's doing very well. So I felt it was incumbent on us, the populace, to put our hands behind him and support him. And that is why when I started the coalition, I harvested all other persons that are not only in PDP, mind you, that believed that the governor was doing well. Okay. They joined force with me. Do you know that we have printed over 5,000 face caps and 5,000 t-shirts? We have distributed and printed over 5,000 face caps and 5,000 t-shirts. That's what I'm wearing now. That's the cap I'm wearing now.
Your coalition?
Yes, for Ogiugo coalition for Obaseki Shuabi. We did it free of charge. And we have conducted many rallies. The recent one had Senator Hegil Zamri in attendance, and Barrister Austin Osako in attendance, and then Dr. Mrs. Uyi Malaika is essay to the governor on special duties also. Are you able to spread out to other parts of Edo State, or you are just... Of course, we have coordinators in all the states. It's like a network. We have coordinators in all the wards in the state. That's why it's a very large network. You know, so we're happy to do what we're doing. Some people will tell you, you're just spending your money. The governor will not give you money. This governor will have this thing. Governor. I say, I'm not doing it because of what the governor will give to me. I am doing it because I like what the governor is doing for my people. Remember, if you can flash your mind back, during the government of Oshomole, I brought in the Stallion Group. Stallion Group, they are the makers of Mama Gold Rice and the Hyundai vehicles. We brought them in, not because of what the government could give us. I brought them in because I wanted them to come and establish an assembly plant and fertilizer plant in Edo State. But you know, due to bureaucratic process and whatever, I don't know what went wrong. Yeah. They never give them a safe landing. Yeah. You know, so it has been my dream to see my people grow, to see the economy of my state grow, to see my youth be employed, to see my people prosper economically. And then I see a governor doing it, and you think I won't support him? I will support him with all I have. Thank you. Now, you are a technical facilitator to the World Health Organization, WHO. Yes. Now, what is your job responsibility? Yeah, our job responsibility is to implement their program, supervise, and then bring back a report that we call data. What kind of programs? It has to do with immunization, National Immunization Plus Days, and not only WHO. I also double as a state technical facilitator for maternal neonatal born, what we call MSCH, for the Edo State Ministry of Health, even for UNICEF. So as a state technical facilitator, we are employed to do the pre-implementation plan, call it micro plan, and then after the pre-implementation plan, we're able to ascertain what is going to take, what the program is going to take. You know, you cannot just bring vaccines. Vaccines are expensive. You cannot just bring it and put it in the hands of those that cannot handle it. Yeah. Mind you, it has a short lifespan. And so we are the ones that are going to teach them in the the health workers, the fragility, the lifespan of how to handle the vaccine so that it doesn't die. We call it cold chain. So by and large, our job as facilitator is to implement the program of immunization within the space of time given to us, and then see to it that the program is a success. And not only that, that during the program, if there be any hitches, we're able to wade in and make sure that the program is successful. And then we'll now collect the data, more importantly, collect the data, and then bring back to WHO.
Do you train people?
Yes, we do. Well, our job is to train in every LGA you are posted to, you have wards. An LGA could be 12 wards, an LGA could be made up of 11 wards or 10 wards, depends on, as the case may be, depending on how big the LGA is. And then in every ward of the LGA, you have what we call focal persons. We call them ward focal persons. And each ward focal persons come from a ward and heads a ward and reports to you, the state technical facilitator. And each ward focal persons has what we call we have health workers under the focal person that we are going to use as ad hoc staff, that we're going to use during the program. And those teams, those health workers are made up of teams. You know, each focal person can be in charge of a settlement, or or that ward could be made up of maybe 20 teams that are going to work in that ward. And so each of all the teams report to the focal person of the ward. And then I train the focal person. And then after training all the focals in turn go to conduct the same training in their wards. And my job is to supervise them, to see that the training I have given them is in turn passed down to them at the ward. And while they are doing the training, I am practically present to impute and with a view to making corrections during the training, so that we can disseminate the information down to the last man in the chain.
Thank you. If you are just joining us, we're chatting with Prince Barry Ogiugo Esquire. When we come back, he's going to be giving us a comparison between the old Bende state and, of course, the new Edo state under Governor Godwin Obaseki. Stay with us.
This another comprehensive project by the Obaseki-led government. It started in June, and 1st of June to be precise, 2018. The entire project covers about 70 hectares. At the moment, 3 hectares have been built upon with about 68 houses already sold out, and a comprehensive road network divided into 2 parts: the service lanes and the dual carriageway that runs across the entire prospect. This is phase 1, about 3 hectares. The phase 2 is on the other side, about 3 hectares as well. Everything here is 6 hectares. So we have balance of 64 hectares to go. One of the houses has 2 apartments, 3 bedrooms each, which we refer to as the twin apartments. And there are 8 buildings of such. In a few days' time, the second phase will commence in earnest. The road project, as I said, is ongoing, and you can see the machines working in earnest. I wish to also say that this project has given a lot of jobs to many Edo citizens, both the skilled and unskilled workers.
My name is Obichoma. I've been working here in this Immortal Garden Estate past 2 years and now. Ever since I've been working here, my salary, even before month end, I received my salary. I'm very, very happy. If you look around these Edo states, especially in this upper now, this area, I know how this area was before. You know, It's because of the work of Obaseki, this estate, Immortal Garden Estate now. You can come around this area. You cannot be afraid of anything because of this